Hey YouTube, today I'm going to be going over the top 5 dip flavors, or top dip and why, and also which do I think would be good for beginners. I'll do a section for wintergreen, for each long cut and fine cut. But first, let's pack us a dip. Oh, fresh can, so I gotta crack this. Gonna crack this can and get me a pinch. Nice fresh can of Copenhagen wintergreen. My go-to wintergreen dip. Get me a good sized pincher, about yay. Now, this leads me into my first section. This will lead me into my long cut wintergreens. My first wintergreen obviously being, favorite wintergreen being Copenhagen long cut wintergreen. Why this is my number one, I would say there's that lastability that lasts a good amount of time. It pinches really good. And the cost isn't that bad. The cost that I found is about roughly $2.98 a can. And that's at the cheapest. Now I guess this should be going up around here, but this is the cheapest I'll actually find. It is $2.98 a can. About 15 bucks a log. Next, for my wintergreens would be Stoker's Wintergreen. The reason why I put it at number 2 is because you can buy it in bulk. You can buy it in the big tubs. They say you can get about roughly 10 cans. I can get about 12 out of it. So, and for pinchability, it is a great pinchability. It's got good flavor. It's a little sweet for me for wintergreen. And just the cost also. The cost is real fair as well. About $12 for that big tub. It's not far beyond my Copenhagen. It's actually better in price than my Copenhagen to buy in bulk like that. But I prefer the flavor of Copenhagen because I don't like a sweeter dip. Next, I have Grizzly Dark Premium Wintergreen. Now, when I first tried this, I thought, oh, it was going to be just another Grizzly, because I already started on Grizzly Wintergreen. Now, some may really like it, but I don't like that processed taste. I prefer a more natural taste to any dip that I dip. So, I mean, I'll dip Grizzly Dark Premium Wintergreen every once in a while. It's got a very unique taste. Best way to describe it is that you just take molasses and put it in with wintergreen. Kind of like mixing a straight dip with a wintergreen kind of thing. That's what I get from it. Then finally, number 5 on my list is Grizzly regular wintergreen. Now this is one of my least favorites, but the reason why, the reason why it's decent for newer dippers or people who aren't sure if they want to get into dipping or not, it's literally one of the cheapest to buy. It's any Grizzly product really, it's just cheap. but it's decently made. Even though it's got that more processy taste, it's pretty well made. The pinchability and pinchability isn't as good as Copenhagen, but its packability is really good. You can pack it up real nice and tight. And it has a bit more of a fuller can than Copenhagen. Now, I did put a number 6 on my long cut wintergreen, and this is literally like if you are like poor or can't afford a can at the moment, and you've only got a couple bucks on you. It's called Wolf Wintergreen. It used to be 99 cents a can, now it's $1.99. The cut on it is very rugged on your lips. The taste of it is so overbearing for the wintergreen that it tastes like you're having like 4 or 5 lightsabers in your mouth. And it's the only product that I've tried with Wolf. Next, let's get into our natural and straight dips. Now, my first straight dip that I really enjoy is Grizzly Straight. It's got a sweet, but with a natural undertone to it that I really enjoy. It's not too sweet, but it's sweet enough that it tastes like a dessert almost, but with also having it in a bit longer, it's got that undertone of natural. My second favorite would be Copenhagen Straight. Reason being is Copenhagen Straight has got more of it's got a sweet, but you can also taste almost a spice to it with the natural. Also, it's like a sweet, it's like a molasses sweet with a little bit of undertone of a spice, and I like that. Both Grizzly and Copenhagen are relatively the same price, but Copenhagen is a bit more expensive, being that it is the premier dip brand. Next on the list is Copenhagen Natural Extra Long Cut. This is a great dip in itself as well. It's great for beginners because it's easy to pack, easy to pinch, because it's got a bit longer cut on it. Copenhagen's a bit more of a mid cut, but Copenhagen Extra Long Cut has more of a stoker's cut to it. So it's a bit better to pinch for beginners. Next on my naturals list, which is my last one, is Grizzly 1970 or Grizzly Natural. They're both pretty much the same product, and they're relatively comparable to Copenhagen Natural. So I mean, they're pretty much neck and neck, but Copenhagen Natural is a bit easier to pack, I find. Finally, move on to our fine cuts. Now, if you're a beginner dipper, I don't suggest fine cut very much because it is a bit hard to keep in your lip, but that's up to you. For wintergreens, there's really only 2 fine cuts that I know. Well, there's 3. There's Grizzly, Stoker's, and Skull. And I would have to say my favorite would be Stoker's wintergreen fine cut. It's got a bit more, it's in between a fine cut and a mid cut. And it's got the same flavor as the wintergreen. It doesn't really change the flavor. It's easy to keep it in a ball, and like right here or here, and it's got good flavor. Next obviously would be Grizzly in my opinion. Now, Stoker's is about the same price as Grizzly, and you can also buy the Stoker's wintergreen fine cut in a tub, so that's great. And then finally Skull. Skull fine cut, it's got a decent flavor, but not a high nicotine content. So if you're a beginner starting with fine cut, or you're interested in fine cut, I would suggest trying Stoker's fine cut for wintergreen. For naturals, I haven't tried the Stoker's straight or natural fine cut, so I can't really compare to anything for that. But my all-time natural favorite fine cut is Copenhagen Snuff. I just like the salty flavor of it, and it's easy once it's moist to keep just dead center packed right here for me, and that's just something I really enjoy. And if need be, I can gut that. Final on my list of dips is Grizzly Snuff. Grizzly Snuff is a cheap alternative to Copenhagen. It packs pretty decently, and it's just not as salty as Copenhagen. So if your lip and you dip Fine Cut is a bit sore, or you have gator lip, go with some Grizzly Snuff. It's a bit easier on your lip, and you'll still get relatively the same flavor. Alright guys, this is Patrick here, signing off. Thanks for watching. Keep dipping, keep spitting, and see you later.